Alright guys, today Tony is going to be installing an SSP-G footrest. We think this is a knockoff NCY footrest, which at the time was about $100 cheaper, but after checking today, it seems like NCY footrest has come down in price and they are much more comparable. Either way, this is what we opted for at the time, and we wanted to see if the quality was good or you should avoid a cheaper footrest. Tony was pretty excited because if you're familiar with mini bikes in general, then you know storage for things can be a challenge, so this should help with that. To start, you have to take the 4 gas tank bolts off. They aren't too difficult to get to, so it's pretty easy.
I didn't put this engine on the frame, so I don't really know how it attaches, but I know that this bar right here is what gives it the stretch. So there's a motor mount underneath of this that's holding that. There's another mount back here holding it, so I think I'm going to put this board under the frame right here, and I'm going to jack it up on that until it's like level. Then I'm going to start taking these off because I had to get this dog bone off of here.
Finding somewhere to jack this thing up can be a chore because the bottom of the bike doesn't have many flat spots for you to evenly raise the bike up. He used a piece of wood to get it up off the ground, but still had to try it in a few different spots till he could find one that worked.
It's only slightly sketchy.
Next, you're going to remove both Allens that hold this bracket on.
I'm going to carefully put this in here. I'm going to just barely get these bolts started.
Using the bolts that came with the footrest, go ahead and get them started in the holes.
That's on there. So now we're going to line up our gas tank cover. These bolts are no longer long enough. That sucks. I gotta find some longer tins. Find one that's the right length so I can get them at the store. Oh, it's okay.
There were some drawbacks to this particular footrest. First, the bolts that came with it weren't long enough, so Tony had to find some bolts and nuts that were long enough to go through both the gas tank and the footrest. They may need to include bolts that are slightly longer in order to make sure this doesn't happen. Next is more of an inconvenience than an issue. You really have to manhandle it into place so that it lines up with the bolt holes. This likely isn't a huge issue as it probably adds some rigidity to the frame itself, so that's actually a good thing. After you have all the bolts started, then go ahead and make sure they are all tight. Leaving them loose till this point ensures you get all of the bolts in the holes.
So I think this looks great, especially for the price.
All in all, Tony was happy with the quality and fitment of the footrest. Maybe the more expensive one would fit slightly better, but he was able to get this one on with very little issues, so worth the price, I'd say.
Alright, well that should be that. So it comes with these holes already in it, right here, for your pegs.
So to install the pegs, first start the peg stopper, then put your peg on with the supplied bolt and nut.
So this screw will stop this from going down anymore. You'll set the height here, or your angle. I want mine pretty flat, so.
It is best to use Loctite on all these nuts as the bike does shake quite a bit, but tighten everything up, you'll be fine.
That is how you install The SSP-G footrest for your Ruckus. Or Ice Bear. This also works for the Ice Bear. It's actually what I seen it on when I first saw the ad for it. If you don't know what an Ice Bear is, it's basically a pre-stretched Ruckus. It's a clone, but very affordable. I think they're about $2,000 and they already are stretched out. Oh yeah, that's way better. And I've got room for storage now, which is great. I'm gonna go get me a little motorcycle net so I can strap my backpack down here. Yeah, this is gonna be way more comfortable. Not having front pegs kind of sucks, but I like the option to have both. If I want to switch my foot position up, or if I just want to stretch out. Yep, this is sick. I super enjoy that. I think it looks way better with the painted cover and then the black on top. I just think it's a good look. Sweet. Till next time.